Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Today is going to be an exciting day on the homestead. Many of you know that for the past, 10 weeks now, we've been raising some ducklings. They're pretty much full grown at this point. They still have some maturing to do, but size-wise, they're about full grown. So today is the day that we're actually going to let them into the chicken moat area with all of the other ducks and chickens. We're so excited, and I think they're gonna have a blast.
But first, we haven't even done our morning chores yet, so we need to get busy doing those, and we thought we'd bring you along.
Good morning, pigs.
They're hungry.
Well, you guys can hear that everybody is excited to eat this morning. These Idaho pasture pigs are by far the noisiest pigs we've ever raised. Only really when they want something, but I just can't believe the fun noises that they make. Today we've got a treat for them. We've got their normal feed, but then we've also got some whey left over from cheese making this weekend, and they love the whey. So we're gonna mix their feed with the whey, and we're gonna give them both of those today. The whey gives them some good extra protein. And then we'll just pour some whey right on top of their feed. Pigs don't mind the wet feed at all. They actually love it that way. Now over in that first pen are our two gilts. One that we're raising for meat and one that will be a new breeder for us when she gets older. In this pen we have Charlie, our boar, and Myrtle, our sow. We had another sow named Mildred. We told you guys just recently that we did end up getting rid of Mildred because despite our best tries, we just couldn't get Mildred pregnant. But this summer we're going to be getting 2 more gilts delivered down from Wisconsin. We're so excited. They're going to be registered Idaho pasture pig gilts. And they're coming from an awesome farm called Duck Creek Pastures in Wisconsin. Not far actually from where Sarah and I grew up, about an hour and a half from where we grew up. And we're so excited. Kayla from Duck Creek Pastures is going to be bringing them down to the farm later this summer. And we're just excited to have 2 more registered gilts here so that in the future we'll be able to sell registered breeders as well. All right, these guys are hungry. They each get a scoop of feed. Right. All right, who wants the first bowl? Well, you gotta let me set it down, Myrtle. All right, then you get the second one. See how that works? You just gotta be patient. Good morning, Rose.
Come on, Mama. Now, if you're new here, this is Rose, our milk cow, and we've had her since this spring. We had to put down our previous milk cow, Hope. We weren't expecting that, but we were very thankful and blessed to be able to find this girl at a raw dairy, and she needed to find a new home. She's very young. She's a little over 2, I guess. Shortly after we brought her here, she calved her very first calf, and it was a heifer calf. So we have a registered Jersey cow and a registered Jersey heifer calf. Our calf is about 4 months old, 16 weeks old now, and just 2 weeks ago we started separating these 2 overnight because we weren't getting very much milk. And it's very common to separate the calf overnight, and then the owner or the farmer milks in the morning, takes all the milk, and then the calf gets the rest of the milk for the rest of the day. It's generally 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So I want to go show you Babe just real quick before we milk. And Rose is going to be a little confused, but it'll be fine. Now we've had quite a few questions and concerns about this whole separation process, whether or not the calf gets enough to eat, whether she's too young for this. So like I said, she's 4 months old. A lot of people wean their calves entirely at 8 weeks, 10 weeks. So we're actually going to be letting her nurse this 12 on, 12 off until she's 6 months old. So we'll wean her at 6 months old. Right now, she is also eating hay, grass, and a little bit of sweet feed that we give her every day. So she by no means is missing out of food in those 12 hours that she's separated from her mom. We also have a water set up for her, a tub, an automatic waterer that she has access to water, and she is very comfortable with all of this. She's so comfortable with this process that most nights we don't even really have to chase her into this corral area. She just goes in. That's just part of the routine, and she is doing so well with it. She's never even really balked about being separated from her mom. We just kind of did it when it naturally felt right for the animals and for us. All right, girl, are you ready? Come on. Come on, Rose. Atta girl. You ready to go? Thank you for your milk. All right, let's go get your baby. Come on, let's go get your baby. Come on, let's get your baby. Well, every day we've been pushing these two out to the pasture so that they spend their day out there and not up by the barn. It really keeps the barn lot a lot cleaner, keeps down on the flies, which has been very helpful. They have everything they need out there, so they actually love it there all day long.
Let's let the chickens and the older ducks out. Got their normal feed, but they're also getting some old milk today. We try to let milk sit in a bucket for at least 24 or 48 hours before we give it to the animals so that it curdles real nice. That's how they like it. Must taste better to them that way. All right, let's give them their feed first. Now we are going to be working around some rain showers today. In fact, it's starting to sprinkle just a little bit, but the weather is beautiful otherwise temperature-wise, so we're going to work through the rain today. Good morning, chickens. All right, they'll find that in a little bit, but for now, let's go let the young ducks out. For right now, we're still gonna let them out in the temporary pen area because we need to build a new door on the back side of their coop today before we can let them out into the actual chicken moat. Good morning. Before we get started installing the new door on the duck house, there's another project that we want to try to accomplish today. A couple videos ago, I showed you guys that I built this awesome new automatic waterer for the chickens and the ducks, and I put it on this pad with these pavers. A lot of you expressed concern that you thought these pavers were going to get way too hot for the chickens and the ducks to stand on during the heat of the day. Now I can tell you it's been over a week since I put these here. We've had some days in the mid-90s and I've been watching them, and I can tell you that even in the hottest part of the day, they're standing on here no problem. In fact, they kind of congregate on here sometimes, even when it's really hot out. So I really don't think they're getting too hot and burning their feet. But just as a precaution, I want to make sure that that's not happening. So we've been thinking about this whole chicken moat area and the amount of shade that it has. Last winter, we showed you guys that we were putting some arches at different spots over the chicken moat in hopes of growing plants that would grow up and over and provide shade. The problem with that is the plants are taking too long to grow big enough to actually provide any shade. So we'll be coming up with a new plan for those arches in the coming years, but for this year we need a solution right now. So today we're going to build just a very easy shade covering over this. We're actually going to use some of our woven weed fabric that we use in the garden because we think that'll be a perfect thing to make kind of a small shade cloth area here. So we're going to get started on that project, and then we'll get over to the ducklings, build their new door, and let them out into the chicken moat. All right, so let's figure out exactly how long this needs to be. I'd say we go about halfway down on the sides.
Here?
Yeah, that looks good. I'd say 9 feet.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. Look at that.
Oh, is that really it?
Almost exactly 9 feet.
Wow.
Now we're not going to do anything too fancy to put this up. What we're actually going to do is we're just going to use hog clips to put this, and we're just going to attach it to the fence. If you're not sure what hog clips are, they look like this. You can pick them up at any kind of farm store. They're called hog rings. They're originally for putting in hogs' noses to keep them from rooting, but they're good for a lot of different things. Today we're going to use them to attach this piece of weed fabric right to the fence. Let's get started on that so we can move on to the duck house. Now I think pull it to the other side.
Okay.
Okay, let me come with the torch.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Oops.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, that was an easy project, and I think it's going to work really well. The nice thing about this material is because it's woven, one, it won't hold in a lot of heat, but it'll also, if it rains, not pool on here like it would if it were, you know, a tarp or something like that. It should let the water run through. So I think this is going to work out well. This is at least a good temporary fix for this year until we can come up for a better plan for these arches. We still have hopes that over the course of the summer, all of these plants are going to grow up and over the arches. Some of them are starting to. Like I said, the problem is just that they're growing too slow, and that really the chickens needed shade about a month ago, and we don't really have much more time to wait. So this is a good fix for now. If they seem to really like this and they spend a lot of time under it, might even put another one somewhere else along the moat so they have a couple areas to get out into the shade. All right, we're over by the duck hoop coop. This is where the new door is going to go. Now I've already cut the size of the door that I want. We're going to use this as a template for everything else. So the first thing that we need to do is, this is our actual fence that we're backed up against. We need to cut a hole in the actual fence for the birds to be able to get through. So I'm going to hold the door up here where I want it. Now, we want it kind of centered here the best that we can, but we do have to work with the restrictions of the fence. So we're going to put this here. Now you can see that means I'm going to have to cut the fence all the way back like this, which is just fine. Cut here. Now we don't want to cut all the way down to the bottom. We want to leave some strength at the bottom of the fence, so we don't lose the tightness that we have on the rest of the fence. So we only want to cut what absolutely needs to be cut out, which is that piece right there. Then on these sides, we'll just bend these back, make sure they're out of the way so that the birds can't get cut on them as they're coming in and out. And now we've got a nice hole in our fence. We can start building our actual door. All right, there we go. We have an opening in the door. All right, the hinges are on. I've installed a little chain up here so during the day we can just hook that open. Now we need to install some type of latch so at night we can keep them nice and safe when we put them in for the night. So what we're going to do is, because this is on the outside, there's not a lot of space here, I'm going to attach a piece of 2x4 on the bottom here, because what we're going to install is a latch like this that we can put down at night and lock, and I think that'll keep them nice and safe. So I'm going to attach a piece of 2x4 here. Perfect. That is a nice tight lock. That ought to keep them nice and safe overnight. All right, let's open this up. Right now I have the front door of the duck coop also shut so that they couldn't come in here and mess around while I was working. So I'm going to go open that, and then I'm actually going to try to chase them out. And this will be their very first time having a little bit of freedom. But now they're big enough to join the chickens and the other ducks. So now they'll have access to this entire chicken and duck moat, which for those of you who don't know is 6 feet wide and about 850 feet long. It goes all the way around this 1 acre part of our property, and it gives them a lot of room to run and catch all the bugs and eat grass and everything that they want. So I think they're going to have a blast today. We just need to make sure they can figure out where the water is and that they get along with everybody else. So let's get them out here and see what they do. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and right now they're all laying down taking a nap inside of the hoop coop. So this plan isn't working the way it is. I'm at least going to try moving their feeder out here so they can see it through the door. I don't think they even realize that there's a door there right now. So that's what I'm going to do next, and we'll give that a few minutes and see if that works. Well, the chickens have figured out how to go in the duck house. Now, if the ducks would just figure out how to come out of the duck house, I think there's about 4 or 5 chickens in there right now. And I might also add that the chickens haven't even eaten all their food yet today. It's still down in their trough. And this is the exact same food that the ducks get. So this isn't some big treat for the chickens, they just think it is. Alright, well this isn't working either, so the last thing to try is to actually go in there and scare them out. Even though I know it's going to cause a lot of chaos, I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try to kind of gently walk them down to show them where the water is, and they'll finally get to meet our other 3 ducks that have been here forever. They're going. Well, I think they are happy to have their freedom. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to, learn that they have this much room now to run around, but I think they're going to be very happy.
This is a really fun project to do. I'm so glad that we got to bring you guys along for it. Hey, remember, if you're enjoying our videos, the best way to help us is just to share our videos on your social media. And also don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified of our new videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it.
We're so excited to have this many ducks back on the homestead. We've loved having ducks in the past when we had a lot of them, which is why we've decided to up our numbers once again. Plus, we know you guys absolutely love seeing the duck run in the morning. We enjoy it too.
So until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.